Okay, my name's Gunther. I'm doing a video for my assessment cluster. That's my ID there. And I've got all my students here. And today we're going to do a lesson on inspecting and maintaining power tools before we use them. Thanks everybody for turning up today and being here for us. Can everybody see my shared screen there? No?
No.
Oh, no, we did before.
Okay, I'm going to share now. Okay, can we see that now?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're going to inspect and maintain power tools. Everybody uses power tools of some sort every now and then, or an extension lead or anything. So before we use them, we want to make sure they're in good order and they're safe to use before we actually plug them in, and it could become a problem for us. So we need to do a little bit of housekeeping first. So is everybody in a well-lit ergonomic work area? Yeah?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
You haven't got any risks or trip hazards or any cords or anything you're going to trip over or anything like that?
No, I'm fine.
Everybody all good?
Yep.
Yes.
Tamia, yeah? All good?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody. Okay, so you're familiar with your emergency exit strategy. So you know where you're going to run out if in case there's a fire and which way to get out of the house or wherever you're at. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good to hear. Okay, then, and do you have your item there that we're going to inspect? Your power tool of some sort? Yeah?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And you've got access to your feedback form that you're going to fill out for me at the end of the lesson, and give me some feedback to see how I went on my performance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay then, thank you. So we'll move on a little bit. Okay, so we're going to inspect our power tools, and as you can see, this beautiful slide here that I made up. I've got an electric drill and an extension lead. So we'll move on. Oh, here we go. So with housekeeping, we've done that. So inspection of power tools. Point 1, tools should be disconnected from the energy source before you actually start to maintain them. Anybody got an idea why you would do that?
So you don't get shocked.
Yeah, or you don't want them to start up inadvertently where maybe they might have a cutting tool or something cutting blade on it, and it might, when you're inspecting it, you might accidentally turn it on and hurt yourself with it. So we've got to make sure we unplug it before we start to inspect it. You got to visually inspect your tool and your the body of the actual power tool or whatever you're using for cracks or damage to the outer casings. Got to check that the guards are intact and operate as intended. Be checked for any excessive wear on any moving parts. The chuck, the blades, disc or accessory locking mechanisms, what you use to lock the cutting tools or the blades or whatever in with. All electrical cords should be in good condition. Have a 3-pin plug on the end. In Australia, we use 3-pin plugs. The third pin's an earth pin. If not, it'll be double insulated, so it might only have 2. So that means double insulated means that it's completely plastic and there's no metal parts. So that's why they only have 2 pins. They don't need an earth. There's no nicks or cuts to the cables. No insulation tape hiding any damage. And there's no single insulation showing at either end of the lead or the plug end or at the device.
Sorry, Len, I don't know much about this, but what do you mean by single insulation?
So if you see any coloured insulation, like you've got the black outer cable, it looks like it's black all the way. So if you see brown or blue cable, that's single insulation and that's dangerous. So we'll get to that. I'll show you a few examples in a minute.
Thank you.
But that's a good question. Thank you. So we don't want to see any cable hanging out or copper wires or anything like that. It's going to be dangerous. When you've inspected your tool and you're pretty much happy with it, you can plug it in and turn it on for a brief second to see if there's any abnormal sounds or anything like that. And the function of the switches that turn them on and off. So all power tools and extension leads should be tested and have a current test tag, lead test tag attached to the plug end of the lead. So everybody knows what that is. Everybody's seen one before. I'll get
Yep.
to it if you haven't. And when you're finished with all your power tools, they should be kept clean, free of dust and dirt, mud and grease, and stored in a dry, clean location after use. Put them back in their cases or wherever they belong, and look after your power tools and make sure that they're clean. Okay. Everybody good with that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so I've got a few pictures here of some dodgy power tools and dodgy things. Oh, wrong way. Okay, Mr. Minto, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Can you see that picture there on the screen? Can you tell me what's wrong with that?
Which item? Would you like me to list them all?
Yeah, tell me what you can see. What can you see in the picture
Is
there?
that your name engraved on the side of the drill? Mate, I can see a drill that's held together with duct tape at the base.
Yeah,
I can see a approved power board,
yeah.
probably
I
a
knew you were gonna say that.
non-approved extension lead.
I knew you were going to say that.
I can see a drill that's had a very hard life. Doesn't have if it's got a handle, it's got a broken handle, that yellow one.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's probably dated. Time to head to Bunnings and get a new one.
Probably so. Okay, thank you. We'll move on. You, what can you see with this one?
That one looks very dirty. Same thing. You can see if you zoom in, I think on that lead where it comes out of the actual handle of the drill, you can see insulation has
Yeah.
been damaged there as well. So that's pretty
Maybe, yeah.
bad. Yeah. What's that? Sorry?
No, I'm just listening to you.
Yeah, it's obviously that there's been same as that drill before. It looks like it's been around for a long time.
Looks
It's
like
obviously
been on
really
fire.
dirty. Yeah, that switch looks like it's burnt out as well.
Okay.
It's I think you can see the end of that plug there. Is that the yellow plug? It's definitely not tagged.
That's
Or if it
definitely
is,
not
it shouldn't
bad.
be. Yeah.
I wouldn't tag it.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. We'll move on. We'll try somebody else. What about Louise? What do you think, Louise? With this one?
The second insulation's broken, so it's only single insulated.
Just here, yeah.
Or even frayed, so you can see the cord or copper or whatever it is. I can't see, it's kind of blurry.
Yeah, it is a little bit blurry, that one. But I think another thing too is
Oh yeah, the handle's cracked.
it doesn't look very good
Yeah.
either, does it?
Yeah.
So these are the
No.
sort of things we're going to look for when we inspect our tools and make sure that they're all our power tools and make sure that they're all intact. What about Tamia? What about this one? Tamia, what do you think?
Is that like some
just-
sort of thing wrapped around the
Around
trigger?
the trigger there, yeah. It says
Yeah.
a switch, so it looks like they've got the switch held in there with a twist tie.
Oh. I couldn't figure out what it was.
Yeah, no, it looks like a twist tie or something like that. Yeah, it's not in very good condition either, that one.
No, it's had
Yeah.
its days.
Okay, and we'll move on.
It's bath time.
Here's one for Lucy.
What's that?
Do you think that-
Yes, definitely. That's a bit of a
Bath
worry.
time.
that's the single insulation we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see where the cable's pulled out of the end of the plug there.
For sure.
Okay, all right, we'll try the next one. Who we got there? Nadine, what about that one? Can you see what's the problem there?
Sorry, the cable. Fuck. The cable.
Yeah.
Is it burnt?
I think it's
It's broken one way or the other.
yeah, and they've had
it's
some tape around it. to hide-
Oh, that's tape. Sorry, I identified that as a burn, but yeah, it has come apart.
Yeah, there's
On my phone, it does look like that.
Thank you.
tape.
No, that's all right. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we'll move on to the next one. Okay, James, what about this one?
Look, it's the copper's exposed. It looks like it might have been chewed or something, or yeah, but it's definitely damaged.
Yeah.
No good.
So these are the things when we inspect the power lead on our appliances or whatever, our tools, we need to make sure that they're all good. What else have I got here? I've had Matt. Who haven't I had? Aidan, what do you reckon about this one?
So no guard on it.
Yeah,
It's obviously a oversized drill bit. I mean, not drill bit, angle grinder bit.
yeah,
A
You'll
cutting
see-
disc. It's it's way too big.
yeah. It's pretty dangerous. isn't it? No guard.
Looks dirty too. What's going on with the cable? Cable's fine by the looks of it. Looks a bit kinked at the edge of it, but yeah. Otherwise, it's just the guard
Yeah,
pretty
that's
much
it.
missing.
No guard on it. So we've got to make sure that the guards, they should have guards on, especially grinders. They're very dangerous. And even with the handle there, you could probably take your knuckles off that cutting disc quite easily there. If it,
In an emergency department, I can confirm that's probably one of the most things that we see in A&E angle grinders versus body parts and
yeah,
I-
very vicious. Very vicious. Okay, this is my favorite. Patrick, what do you see here?
What the heck?
Oh,
A lot of stuff wrong. That's what I see.
This is my favorite, the favorite one I found. There's actually no plug in at all. We've just shoved the wires in and stuck a bit of timber in there to make contact. We don't want to see this on power tools. On side at all. So that's yeah. All right. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to stop the slideshow now because that's basically the end of the slideshow. And I'll close that and I'll stop sharing. Where am I? I don't know how to get this back up again. I don't know. Oh, stop share. Here we go. We're back again. Okay, so back again. So what I've got here is a grinder. Can everybody see my grinder?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a Makita grinder. It's hardly been used, so it's in pretty good condition. You can see it's got the test tag on the end.
yeah.
You can see, all right, I look at it, I check it, I look at the body, it looks pretty good. I check the lead, the guards there, the locking mechanism's all good. It's not burnt over or anything like that. I check the lead and I run it through my fingers, look at it, and I can see that's fine. Okay, basically that's all we got to do. Okay, but okay, I've done that pretty quickly. I've got a handle here as well. Put the handle on, brand new, so everything should work properly. I could plug it in over here. I'll give it a quick, and it sounds good. Doesn't sound good there. Okay, so I'm pretty much happy with that. So if we go a bit closer and have a look, we've got to look at the whole body here. Make sure all around it, there's no cracks or damage. Okay, we look at the guard, make sure the guard is all good. It's not rattling, it's locked in. The locking mechanism's all good. The handle's good, it's in the right position. We look at the lead, where it goes into the grinder, and we inspect every inch of the lead. We look at it carefully, make sure there's no nicks or cuts, okay? So we want to make sure we do this properly and we do it well. And then again, it's all good. We're happy with that. It's not bent or broken or anything like that. No insulation, single insulation coming out. That's how we inspect our power tool. Okay. When we get extension lead, I've got a 30-meter extension lead here. I'm not going to go through the whole 30 meters, but basically we're looking at our plug-in there. That's all in good condition. Okay, we've got our test tag. Again, we go through and we check it like this. We make sure there's no nicks or cuts. Now this, you might think, I haven't got time to look at that. I need to get this job done. You want to be safe, you got to check it. Okay, you take it on site, something happens, somebody gets hurt, or yourself. You don't want that to happen. Okay. So
With the test tag, Len, how often do you have to get those tested?
3 months, every 3 months.
Every 3 months.
It used to be monthly on construction sites. Now it's gone to 3 months. So we go through and check.
Your grinder, I noticed there was a test tag on it. Did that come from the factory with the test tag on it, or was that you've had it tested since?
I'm an electrician. I can test it myself.
Yeah, okay, so that don't come out with a test tag saying they've sort of been
That's right.
tested before.
That's right. You have to actually put your test tag on yourself. Okay, so everybody's seen what they need to do. So I need you guys to inspect your tool in front of me. So we'll start with Louise.
Yes.
You're gonna have a look at your hairdryer there and show me how you can inspect that for me.
Well, there's a test tag on it,
Very good.
so it looks good, and the insulation's not broken.
Yep.
And then looking at the hairdryer, it's also not broken. It's in good nick.
Yep. And
The back has got the netting on it for the airflow, but the front doesn't have the guard on it, so it could get too hot
okay, so
on my head.
the diffuser or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you got, James? Oh, sorry.
I'll just use my Makita charger.
Okay.
So no test tag. I'm a landscaper, so that's pretty standard. And the lead seems to be quite good. And the plug seems to be quite good. This one lives in my garage, so it doesn't get
Well,
knocked
if it lives
around.
in your
And
garage, that's okay. But if you
yeah.
take it on site, make sure you get it tagged.
Sure.
Very good. What about Nadine?
Yep, I have a hair dryer. I have
Okay.
the same piece on the end, but it gets quite hot at the head. So cable is in. There's no interruptions, no animal bites,
It's always a good thing.
and it's stuck in its thing. There's a little bit of dust, but it looks all pretty functional for what it's supposed to do.
There's no nicks or cuts in the cable. There's no animal bites and everything's in order.
Rattling.
The trigger works fine and everything. Yep.
Yeah, so far.
Yep. That sounds good. How about Aiden? What's Aiden got to show me?
I grabbed my wife's hair straightener.
That's yours, isn't it?
No, oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, every day. Even the beard, I do the beard. Nah, looks all right. No tag on it. It's just a household thing.
Oh, that's fine.
On the tip of it, looks like there's a bit of gunk there. Probably get clean, but that's pretty much it. Then looks all right.
Yeah,
Still pretty clean.
And damage to the body of the appliance or anything like that. No cracks
No.
or damage. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. Looks good.
Okay. Okay, Patrick. What do you got there, mate?
I've got a Makita charger. Got no test tag, but the installation at the join where it goes into the actual charger is fine. The whole thing's pretty good. There's no nicks in the cable, and at the plug, it's fine as well. So there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, the body of it's all good and everything. There's no
Yeah, there's no cracks in it or nothing. Yeah, it's all good.
Okay. Oh, very good. Okay. How about you? What do you got?
I've got a charger as well. So yeah, basically doing a little inspection of the outside. There's no cracks in it at all. Does have a bit of dust on it, but that's okay. Basically the catch where the battery goes in seems to operate all right as well. If I run my finger along it, the lead, there's no nicks at all in any of the cable, and the plug seems to be okay as well, and it even has a tag on it.
I've seen you put that on today.
I put it on 13th of the 3rd, 2020. It lives in my spare one, so it's okay.
Okay, good. Lucy, what do you got there for us?
Well, I've got one of our hairdressers.
This one's got the
So,
end of it.
yeah, so the wiring seems to be okay. It isn't tagged, which is a bit of a worry, right? And everything seems to be in order. But the one thing that I'm worried about, and I do always tell my boss about it, is that, you know, the back of the hair dryers, it's full of fluff and dust. Is that potentially a hazard?
It could be. It could overheat. It's not breathing properly. So you
What
should,
should I do?
you should clean that out, vacuum it or whatever. I don't know if you can see here, there's some holes here in this grinder. They need to be cleaned regularly as well to make sure that the motor doesn't overheat. So with a heating appliance like that, I would make sure that you clean those vents out on the back. Use a stiff brush or something like that, loosen it and vacuum it out or something like that.
Right.
Very good.
Yeah.
Samia, what's Samia got for us tonight?
I've got my hair dryer as well.
Very
It's
good.
much. I've never used it. There's no fluff. Mine has the same with the front. It can overheat. The end of the hair dryer, the cable seems good. There's no nicks, no cuts, and it has a tag.
It's got a tag. Wow.
Yeah, like a warning for children one.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good thing. And it's got the plug on the end. It's all good.
Yeah.
So, is there anything about that plug that you can tell me? What's different about that plug?
There's no earth.
Why is that?
Must be double insulated.
It's double insulated. So the appliance itself, if you hold it up, you can see that it's all plastic and there's no metal parts. So that's why it doesn't need to have an earth. It's all plastic. So that's why it's double insulated. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why it doesn't need an earth pin on it. For all those people who wonder why they don't have 3 pins. So Matthew, what have you got for us?
I'm going to try and be funny and say I've got a drill with no lead, but we'll be serious. So I've got a power drill, 240 volt power drill.
Yep.
Old school heavy duty drill from Makita. Been around for about 15 years. It's still in really good nick. The cable is very good for its age. It's intact. It's a pass, but no tag. It doesn't go on a job site too often. When it does, it should have a tag.
Okay, fair enough.
The body's in good nick too.
Okay, so everybody, you understand what the importance is of inspecting your power tools before you use them, especially if you've got to take them on a building site. As Lucy said, she's a bit worried about the fluff in the end of that dryer, which is a bit of a concern. So if we didn't have this lesson tonight, you might not have known that, and it could overheat and catch on fire while it's in your hand, which wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be a nice thing. So we've learned something tonight, which is good. So for everybody who does work on site, we need to make sure that we have our tools tagged before we take them out of the work van on site, because your project managers will be walking around and making sure, and the safety officers will be saying, why aren't your tools tagged? And you'll have to take them away and put them in your van until they are tagged. Okay, so thank you everybody for attending tonight, and it's been a good lesson.
Len,
Has anybody got any questions?
yeah, I've got a question.
Yes.
Are we allowed to tag our own tools? Or do you have to get your tradesman to do it?
You have to get a licensed electrician to do it.
Okay.
Okay, so with mine, I have to put my license number on when I tag my own tools. I put my license number on there. It's like
So
your isolation, you have to have a qualified person.
So I just have to ask my tradesman and he could do it? Yeah, okay.
Okay. Yes, as long as he tests it as well, not just writes it.
Yeah, obviously. Thank you.
Anybody else got a question? No questions.
Hey Len, for the title of session for that learner feedback form, what do you want us to put?
Sorry, the
The learner feedback form, you know,
Yeah.
that